Hello, I'm William Gallagher. This is the 58 Keys Writing Workshop set of videos. I tell you I happen to write something, and then you tell me in the comments how much you disagree with me and what else you do. Deeply important that we have that conversation, otherwise I just don't see the point of this at all. You're a writer, I'm a writer. Let's not write, but talk about writing. This time, getting actors to read your work, brackets, and then ignoring them a little bit. This obviously works for scripts rather than prose. I mean, I suppose you can do it with prose, but really this is a script writing thing. It's very good in most ways to get a bunch of actors, sit around a table and read your script aloud. I mean, the advantages of, actually sometimes it's fantastically useful because you'll certainly hear when lines of dialogue are a bit clunky. There's a British actor, Martin Jarvis, who years ago really stayed with me. This said that one of my lines, it fell from the mouth awkwardly, and I kind of pictured my words bouncing up for it. I mean, you also said some good things. Let's not forget those, William, but remember the bad. Actors will show you when a line isn't easily said. You'll also you'll pick up pace, rhythm. You'll get a very good sense of how much of what you've written is actually needed. I think as a script writing activity, we have a habit of putting in more explanation than we need. I mean, audiences are really smart. They get it right away. And when you are the audience and you're seeing the actors around a table doing this stuff, you'll get at least some of that. And it's certainly worth it. I mean, it's great. Plus you have a nice night out and things. I'll talk about getting actors in a moment, but I want to talk to you about the bad things in it, because actually there are bad things, and because I've seen this happen, and it comes down to actors trying to be good for you. Yeah, I mean, actors like acting. That's one of the reasons they do it, and this is an opportunity for them to do something with that, with some fresh material. It's all good, but it seems to me that at least certain actors will go too far. They will do their absolute best to make something make sense and have the right emotion under it, convey the right meanings for it, and sometimes they're so good at it that you can not see that it's them, it isn't your line. They have contorted the way of reading it, they've done something, I don't know how actors do it, but they've put more in than was there. So that, I mean, that doesn't sound bad. It's just this, what they've put in might not be what you wanted to be in there. And the thing with actors as well is, I'm being very, what's the word, broad-minded? No, I'm not broad-minded about this. Sweeping, that's what I'm doing. I'm calling all actors are like this. I think actors can be prone to this. They're applying their talents, they're trying to do the best, of course they are. It's all in a good cause, all a good reason, but it appears that oftentimes an actor will be very, very concerned about right now, this line in this scene, and won't have thought about how it affects a scene 80 pages down the line. So, they're doing a great thing, it's sounding good, you're happy, but it can be wrong. You want actors to act the way you want to. You want them to tell your story. And I've actually seen this in finished programs. It's an Alan Pace story, and certainly Alan's died. I can't remember who else would be involved. So tell you what, I'll talk about him, talk about his line, won't name the other people because I've forgotten their names. Yeah. There's a show called Oliver's Travels. Really not one of Alan's best. Side story, he wrote the novel first, and I was going down to see him in London. I'm living in Birmingham. There was a copy of the book fresh out that day at New Street Station. I bought it, I read it, I finished it. When I got to London, he was so annoyed. He had spent months and months writing it, and I'd knocked off reading it in 90 minutes or something like that. Yeah, I was quite glad he was annoyed about the speed, because it meant we moved on to other things and didn't have to. I thought it was a dreadful book. And then the TV version came out and it was really unusually poor. But the reason I'm mentioning it now is there's this one moment, the first episode, that sticks in my line where an actor clearly just didn't get it. They said the words that I'm sure were written in the script, but the delivery was weird. It was slightly antagonistic. It was like elevated, sort of, when it should have been quite calm and flat in the question. It felt more like an interrogation thing. I mean, it's like a 5-word sentence. There's not a lot in there, but it was wrong. And you knew it was wrong. And all of the actors around it were responding wrongly. And I can't conceive how that got past the director, how it got through the editor, how it got through rehearsals for it. There's been a phrase, Barbara Flynn, well, she said this to me once, actor Barbara Flynn, but she's also said it a lot publicly, that particularly with Alan Plater's writing, there's like a Platerese, there's a style of delivering the lines, there's a way of talking Plater. And this one actor, in this one moment, didn't have it. But she'd really tried. I mean, she really loaded it with as much emphasis, more emphasis than it could carry, more emphasis than was needed, and not the right emphasis. That is what you sometimes get from actors. So I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying, in their endeavor to be good at this and to help you out, particularly in a table read as a writer for it, they can sometimes just get it wrong. And you have to be on the ball enough to know that that isn't what you wanted. Because, I mean, actors can be really impressive with it. And they can change your mind about it, but you need to be thinking about it. Don't just think, that line sounded great, therefore my script is fine, I can move on to the next problem for it. I mentioned about getting actors. Actors like to act. This is an ability to act. Now, as a writer, doing a table read before you're in production or anything, you're not going to have the money to hire people, probably. But it's at least reasonably possible to find one actor who will, for the price of a few drinks, I mean, a meal maybe, have a nice evening out with you reading somewhere. I mean, remember, actors, it's worse than writers. They don't get to do their trade very often. They're so often unemployed. This is a chance for them, even in a small way, to do it. And also the fact, I just said one actor, actors know actors, of course they do. Constantly going for the same roles, constantly in the same world, with the same concerns, maybe all in equity, all of this stuff. They know each other, so it's far from impossible to get a little company of players for one evening around a table in a pub, somewhere like that. It's worth it for the fun of it. It is without question worth it because of rhythm and pace and hearing when lines do and don't work for it. It's just not something you should totally rely on. So I suppose actually if you can't get actors, if you're somewhere where, well, there isn't a pub. I'm in Britain, pubs are closing all the time. It's not an essential part of the job, it's just a very good part, but it has bits you have to be careful in. I said that thing about Martin Jarvis stuff. Can I just tell you a nice thing? Because it's about a table read for it. It's just you and me. Yeah, say it quickly, Will. I once had this theatre thing where a small theatre company was going to do 2 plays, like a double bill evening. So the plays were about an hour and 10 minutes each. And I go to the first table read for it, and it's upstairs in a pub. It's going to be in a theatre, but this thing is upstairs in a pub. A few actors are already there, the other writer's there, and the main actor comes in, throws the scripts down on the table and says, well, I'll do the good one. You should have seen the face of the other writer, though. Anyway, that's another story. Time to stop there. Thank you very much for watching this. Now, remember, the whole point is that this is a conversation. I mean, for once, actually, are you a writer-actor? Do you have thoughts about this? Too? Can you explain that thing about how actors can force through a line that isn't really working for them? I'd love to hear an actor's opinion about that. Let me know in the comments, please. That's the entire reason comments are there. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Write more or act more. Possibly both. And I'll see you soon.